Hello and welcome. If you're tackling A-level global politics, then you already know about that one question, the 12-mark comparative. It can feel like a real make-or-break moment, can't it? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and give you a masterclass on how to turn this challenge into your secret weapon in the exam. Let's get right into it. So, you see it on the paper. At first glance, it seems okay, right? Compare these two things. Simple enough? But here's the thing, it is deceptively tricky. So many students finish this question feeling like they've absolutely nailed it, only to be really disappointed with their mark. So what's going on? Well, it's not just about what you know, it's all about how you use that knowledge. And today, we're going to crack that code and make sure you secure every single one of those 12 marks. You see, the secret here isn't about writing more and more, it's about writing smarter. It's about being incredibly efficient and precise. You have to understand the specific code that the examiners are using to grade your answer. And once you get that code, trust me, the path to a top score becomes so much clearer. And here it is, the first piece of the code. It's a perfect 50-50 split. 6 marks are for what we call Assessment Objective 1, that's your raw knowledge, and the other 6 marks are for Assessment Objective 2, your analysis and comparison. You just cannot favor one over the other. I mean, think about it. You could write the most brilliant fact-filled answer, but if the comparison is weak, you'll top out at 6 marks. That's it. It's a total balancing act. So let's break that down a bit more. The best way to think about it is like two sides of the same coin. Your AR1 is the what you know. It's the facts, the figures, your understanding of the key concepts. But AO2, well, that's the why it matters. This is where you connect the dots, where you analyze, and most importantly, where you compare. It's the difference between just listing the ingredients for a cake, flour, sugar, eggs, and actually explaining how you combine them to create something amazing. So how do we make sure we nail those first 6 marks for knowledge? It's all about precision. Here's a pro tip. Don't just say something vague like the UN. No. Get specific. Mention something like the 2023 UN Climate Dialogue and use the proper terminology. Throw in phrases like complex interdependence or hard power where they fit. These sharp, up-to-date examples signal to the examiner that you're not just reciting from memory. You are genuinely engaged with what's happening in the world right now. Okay, so we get the objectives. Now let's get into the non-negotiables. There are 3, let's call them golden rules, that every single top-scoring answer has to follow. If you can get these right, you are well on your way. First up, rule number 1. And I'll warn you, this one might feel a little weird, a bit counterintuitive, but you've got to trust me on this. It is vital. Absolutely no intro and no conclusion. I know. It goes against everything you've probably been taught about essay writing, but for this specific question, they are a complete waste of your time. Examiners literally call it fluff. You need every single second for your analysis and for those longer essays that are coming up later. So, what do? You jump straight in with your first point. All right, on to golden rule number 2. This one is all about how you structure your answer. You only need to make 2 points. That's it. Just 2. But, and this is a big but, they have to be substantial. They need to be really well developed and just jam-packed with constant comparison. It is so much better to have 2 powerhouse paragraphs with deep analysis than, say, 3 or 4 that are kind of rushed and just descriptive. Quality over quantity is the name of the game here, for sure. And that brings us to our third and final golden rule. And honestly, this one right here, this is what really separates a good answer from a truly great one. You have got to use current examples. Global politics isn't a history lesson, right? It's happening right now. It's dynamic, it's always changing. Using examples from just the last 2 or 3 years shows the examiner that you are an engaged, informed student of the subject. It proves your knowledge is living and breathing, not just something you memorized from an old textbook. So we've got the rules, now let's build the game plan. This is your winning formula for when you're actually in the exam, and it all starts in the 2.5 minutes before you even think about writing a full sentence. Okay, so before your pen even hits the paper, you're taking 2.5 minutes to plan. That's it. Step 1, for the first 30 seconds, you just deconstruct the question. What's the command word? What exactly are the 2 things you're comparing? Then, step 2, for the next 2 minutes, you map it out. Just 2 themes and jot down 1 current example for each. This planning phase, it's not optional, it is absolutely critical. Now, once you're writing, this right here is your foolproof structure. It's called the Peel method, and it is your best friend. You start with your point, a really clear statement about a similarity or a difference. Then comes your evidence, those specific recent examples we talked about. Next, and this is the most important part, is the explanation, where you analyze why that similarity or difference even exists. And finally, you wrap it up with the link back to the question. Simple.
Okay, listen up, because this slide gets to the absolute heart of a top-level answer. This quote, this is directly from an examiner's report. It is pure gold. They want a seesaw style of analysis. So what does that mean? It means you're constantly moving back and forth between the two things you're comparing, inside the same paragraph, sometimes even inside the very same sentence. You don't just describe thing A, then describe thing B. No way. You have to weave them together constantly.
So that seesaw effect sounds great, right? But how do you actually, do it? Well, a huge part of it comes down to the language you choose. Using specific comparative words and phrases is like a secret signal to the examiner that you are operating at a really high level. Think of these words as your pivot words. They're your secret weapon. Using a phrase like conversely or this is mirrored in automatically forces you to create that seesaw motion. They are the linguistic tools that build the comparative bridges in your argument and make your whole answer feel fluid and integrated. But here it is, the one question that will launch your answer into the top mark band. It's not enough to just say that two things are different. You have to be able to answer why. What is the root cause of that difference? This is the key, the absolute key to maxing out those AO2 comparison marks. You have to explain the cause. And you can use sentence stems, just like the ones you see here, to help you do it. For instance, this divergence is rooted in, or this difference stems from the realist assumption that. See how that moves your answer from simple observation to genuine high-level analysis? It's a game changer. All right, we've got the winning formula down. But before we wrap up, let's do a quick-fire round of the common traps to avoid. Because honestly, knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do. Okay, you ready? Let's run through them. Do not write an intro or conclusion. Do not just describe one thing and then the other. That's not comparison. Do not add your own evaluation or opinion. There are no AO3 marks here. Do not forget to explain the why, and please do not use outdated examples. Avoid these pitfalls and you'll sidestep the mistakes that trip up most students. So, let's boil it all down one last time. The formula for success is pretty simple, but it requires discipline. It's a great peel structure, plus that constant integrated seesaw comparison, plus fresh, recent, specific evidence. That is your recipe for a full 12 marks. And there you have it, that 12-mark comparative question. It's not a mystery anymore. It's not a hidden trap. You have the code, you have the structure, and you've got the strategy. The only question left is, are you ready to go unlock those marks?